Oh baby, it's a new Dramageddon in the Twitch sphere. We had EHD for months, but get ready for the OTK annihilation. So, Emiru, you might have heard she was in the news recently regarding an assault that had happened at TwitchCon. Now, following up from that, Emiru goes and makes a stream titled Talking About Some Things, where she reveals her former relationship with Mizkif. Look, man, I'm a Mizkif hater. Normalize just hating someone based solely on vibes. I don't like him. I don't like his community. The whole Poggers community, I don't really like it. Emiru, I'm kind of ambivalent towards. I don't really got a strong opinion on her. I don't necessarily vibe with like the Quirk Chungus girl failure streamer thing. So, you know, it's not like I know about her or care about anything she does actually at all. But basically the crux of everything that Emiru said will rest on her accusing Mizkif of some kind of sexual misconduct or SA, as well as being domestically abusive.
I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done.
She chronicled all of that in this stream and basically said Miz will be responding and trying to get out ahead of this. Mizkif has quite the interesting history. The short TLDW here is that he allegedly covered up a sexual assault regarding a former friend by the name of Crazy Slick. Now, Mizkif claims that he won his court case about this, but this is actually a court case regarding whether or not he basically blackballed Adriana Lee, who was the accuser in that, and Adriana Lee assuming and saying that he was blackballing her was the slander that was on trial there, basically. So yeah, the court case isn't about whether or not he covered up an SA, it's about whether or not what Adriana Lee said was slanderous. So him saying that he was innocent or anything like that is not really up for discussion. On top of that, innocence and guilt in a civil court case is entirely different from a criminal court case. It didn't absolve him of anything, but if you're 12 or an idiot, you would assume that he was. But that's not really how those things work, nor is it actually what the case was about. So we'll basically never know, but the general consensus from a lot of people in the drama frog community is that, yeah, Mizkif seems to, in my opinion, have covered something up. Now, there was also another OTK guy regarding like this pregnancy fetish stuff, and it's a whole other thing. But needless to say, OTK has been completely enraptured by a lot of these things for a long time. And it turns out during the course of OTK, this was also going on. So everything from basically having a fit to punching holes in walls to being just a general horrible person, Mizkif was accused of. Mizkif, in his response, well, the response is really funny. He kind of downplays a lot of these things. That's really just the short and skinny of it, is that he downplays a lot of it and then tries to move the goalpost. Look, man, he accuses Emiru of neglecting her rabbits.
I never want to talk about this. Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in. These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many of them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible, and my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you." I didn't even know there was TTS going on.
And Look, I'm sorry. I'm just not the most, like, emotional person for pets, really. She could abuse her pets, but, like, that's not really what's on discussion here. It's not really making the situation from Mizkif's angle any better, right? You don't absolve yourself of guilt by saying that, well, she was also abusing her pets. It doesn't. It actually looks like you're deflecting and being very vindictive. It really doesn't matter what I say. I'm kind of sitting here and thinking, man, the second I put this out, a bunch of glup shittos are going to complain about this one. Look, we don't really know where everything's at. I'm planning on going over all of it on stream, but I'm not doing that right now. This is a short and skinny for what's happened. Asmongold is another important character in this. He's actually gone against Mizkif in this.
Any open message to Miz? Fuck off. Have some dignity and retire. Like, I really, I mean, that's my honest, like, you know, what advice do you have? There it is. But you're really mad at him, huh? I don't even know really if that's the word to use. It's just like, it's just, I don't know.
I had said on stream that I thought he would agree with Mizkif's position, but nope. He's thrown Mizkif to the wolves, and losing Asmongold is actually a huge thing for the optics of the situation. Not to mention, many other streamers have been coming out, basically giving the good old hand claps for Emiru for doing this. And boy, oh boy, does it just make me feel very, very succulent and ready for this sweet, sweet drama feast. Honestly, the way that things are looking right now, I kind of feel like Mizkif might have shot his shot too early, trying to basically clap back at Emiru. I think he should have waited, done it in video. It looked really bad doing it on stream. I think overall the optics of it just looked pretty abysmal for him. You know, this could turn around completely, and I'm willing to admit it is. But right now, yeah, Mizkif does kind of look cooked in terms of a drama essay allegation situation. Whether or not the essay did or didn't happen, I mean, we're basically just not going to know unless there's some recording or outrageous evidence of this. But based purely on vibes and simply because I don't like Mizkif, I am very, very excited to see where this goes. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. It's nice to see these chickens come home to roost, and boy, do I dislike Mizkif. So I'm very happy to watch all this drama unfold, rubbing my hands together, ready to collect those sweet, sweet donos, of which I know Miz's community is very annoyed that I'm saying all of that. But you can make sure to subscribe here for my stream Monday on it, as I cover all of the lives from these streamers talking about it. So make sure to subscribe, hit that bell, and join us live Monday.